Good morning and welcome to SUNUP. I'm Dave Deacon, and we're coming to you from the research station near Altus, where it's been an interesting year for crops in southwest Oklahoma. And with more information on the 2016 cotton crop, here's Randy Boman.
The good news is that, actually this year we have what I believe, and certainly the USDA National Ag Statistics Service believes, is a record crop. It appears that in spite of the fact that we set a record crop last year in terms of per acre yield across the state at 874 pounds, it appears that NASS has our average set this year at about 960. So I mean, that is a huge departure from the crop's yield compared to what we've seen even in some of the better years prior to 2011. So we're really proud of the fact that we've had some really good opportunities this year to do what folks in this area do best, and that's to focus on making a really good cotton crop.
So what has really been the difference? I'm assuming it's been the moisture.
Well, certainly the moisture has really had a huge impact on this. I know we've always had some issues in the summer in terms of getting over the hump, so to speak, in July and August. And at least at Altus, we received about 4¼ inches of rain in July, which really helped a lot of our dry land in a lot of the areas. And also in the month of August, we received basically normal precipitation too, I think around 3 inches or so. So if we couple that with our irrigation capacity, of course we have Lake Lugert north of town basically went over the spillway again this year, which is really good. And so we had plenty of irrigation water and really probably didn't necessarily need to use as much in this year as we would in a normal year, because we had the good supplemented rainfall from Mother Nature. So this rainfall distribution and picture really extended across multiple counties, and especially into our heavily dryland counties. And so we're going to see a lot of dryland producers, I think, this year set some records, there's no doubt. Well over 2 bales. I haven't heard of many 3-bale dryland fields coming in, but I would not necessarily be surprised to hear some of that. I know that in general, our better yields in the irrigation district here have been in the 4 bale per acre neighborhood. 3 to 3.5 is pretty common. We did have some bacterial blight issues that affected the production in some fields, not necessarily all fields. But in general, we're optimistic that we're just going to have the best year ever.
And you were actually able to plant in a more timely manner, and harvest has already started.
Yes, we actually kind of had 2 planting windows. We had an early May window. We kind of got into trouble mid-May with some really low temperatures, but that early May planted cotton actually did very well at the end of the day. And a lot of the cotton that you see here that's not been harvested yet, this was planted a little bit later into May. And I don't know what % harvested we are right now in the Altus area. I wouldn't be surprised if we're not 30–40% maybe, something like that.
And that's pretty good for the first week in November.
In November, yeah. Absolutely, you bet. And the reason why was because we had a really nice dry October, fairly dry. From a cotton perspective, that's always a good thing. We had extremely warm temperatures in the month of October too, which really allowed some of this late cotton to fully mature, and we're expecting from the classing office to see, quite honestly, I'm expecting to see some records in terms of our fiber properties again this year. We did have some records last year that we basically tied a record for staple length. We set a record for fiber strength, and we also set a record for fiber uniformity. And I wouldn't be surprised if we don't break some of those records again this year.
And you sound so much more optimistic, I'm going to say it one more time, than you did back in 2011.
Oh yeah, just no comparison. It's just, we've really been blessed again. And this is 2 years back to back. So the good Lord, works in mysterious ways, and I guess He kind of gives us maybe what we deserve. I don't know, but anyway, it's a real pleasure to have a crop that looks like this and be able to set records 2 years in a row.
Okay, thank you much. Randy Boman, Extension Cotton Specialist here at Oklahoma State University.